Welcome, thanks for tuning in. Today's video is going to be a first look at Glossier's latest release, the Monochrome Eyeshadow Palette. If that sounds interesting to you, go ahead and grab a drink or a snack. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Holly. I'm a lifestyle blogger, but here I stick to beauty, fashion, and self-care. So if that's something that sounds exciting to you, go ahead and follow or subscribe. I'd love to have you in the family. I'm going to keep this brief, so we're just going to jump right into the video. First, I'm going to talk a little bit about the process of finding out about the release, ordering it, receiving it. I'm going to show you some swatches. I'm going to talk a little bit about the application process, and then I'm just going to close it with some general thoughts. So first, let's talk about Glossier. As you know, Glossier is a minimalist makeup brand. They're very no makeup, natural kind of vibes, right? So when I saw that Glossier was releasing an eyeshadow palette, I was intrigued. They don't typically release a ton of products, and to see that they released yet another product this year that was a palette, that was a powder, I was like, okay, I have to try this. So I went onto the website, and there are 10 different colorways. They have everything from pale taupes to gold colors, terracotta. I ended up settling on the shade Teak, which is described as a warm chocolate brown. As you can see from the pictures, I thought this would be kind of a great way to try the product. The colors look similar enough, something that I could use since I'm not typically very adventurous in my eyeshadow application. Ordering, of course, was simple. The product is $22, which we'll talk a little bit more about value later. The product arrived rather quickly, and when I received it, I took it out of its little recyclable packaging, and this is what the tin looks like. I was very excited because I wanted to get this review up as soon as possible. I'm going to show you what the colors look like. Again, I ordered the shade Teak, which is supposed to be a warm chocolate brown. I don't know about you, but those colors don't look like warm chocolate brown. They're definitely warm. They definitely look different than the original photos posted on Glossier. So that's kind of an interesting start already, that the colors are definitely much more vibrant in person than they are online. So just keep that in mind when you do decide to order, if you do decide to order. Now let's go to the swatches. The swatches actually turned out better than I thought. So this is the matte, this is the satin, this is the shimmer, and then I also swatched the Sky Wash in the shade Echo. Man, that's a lot of stuff that's hard to say. Anyway, so those are the swatches. When it came to applying the products, the eyeshadow is very powdery. I don't know if you can tell that by looking at it, particularly this matte color. So you're definitely going to want to make sure that you tap off your brush before you put it on your eye. Otherwise, you're going to get a rather large mess. Now, let's talk about how long the product wears. This is the second time I've applied this eyeshadow look, if that kind of gives you a hint at the longevity of the formula. Glossier typically isn't very long lasting, so I wasn't really surprised that the product didn't last for a very long time. But when I do my eyeshadow, I don't really want to have to do it again. I'm okay with having to put on some more lip gloss. That's fine. But eyeshadow, I'm not touching up my eyeshadow during the day. So that was a little bit of a disappointment as far as how long it lasts. Now we're gonna talk a little bit about value. As I mentioned, the eyeshadow palette was $22. There are 3 eyeshadows obviously in the trio, and each one is 1.3 grams. For $22, that is it's quite a bit of money. I know you're getting 3 eyeshadow colors, but honestly, I would rather just spend the extra money and get one of the mini palettes from Natasha Denona, just because the formula is better, the color is better, the overall value is better. I know that's kind of like a major wah-wah when it comes to value. I just don't see it. So we might as well just go into wrapping up my final thoughts. Ultimately, I would say this is kind of a pass unless you are like super into Glossier, like you're a major Glossier stan and you want to order it. Go into it knowing that the colors are definitely not the same in person as they are online. I would say this is probably one of the most disappointing products from the Glossier launch. When you look at the pictures online of the girls wearing, the models wearing the eyeshadow, you can kind of see that the colors look kind of white backed, like kind of chalky almost, which I think is interesting considering Glossier has a no makeup vibe, and then they put out eyeshadows that look very not natural. They did the same thing with the Skywash and with the Lid Star, so it's some interesting choices. I think Glossier is kind of having trouble right now because they were so innovative for such a long time and now they're behind, and I think they're just kind of like throwing things out to see what sticks, and this didn't stick. For me, it is a huge pass. Let me know what you think. Did you have a different experience from me? Is this something you think you're gonna pick up? And what are your thoughts on Glossier overall? Thanks so much for tuning in. Until next time.